unload. It's a tricky manoeuvre getting this off and getting it on. They do the drilling, and that's where they're going to drill the hole right there. We also get, depending on how deep they go and what's in the area, they'll put groundwater. So the sump contains all the groundwater and it evaporates, and then we come back and fill the holes in. So we can't just let the groundwater run on the ground as such. So, see how hard it is. The sumps are made to contain the groundwater, but of course the groundwater's, most of it's hypersaline, and so it stops it from running into the creeks and killing all the plants. It'd be so salty that it would just kill the plants, so it's a very important reason for sumps as well. We dig the sumps at backup because we don't even expect groundwater in most cases, but just in case we have to have it, so that's why they're there. Alec's clearing away some of the old mullock, so as we can dig a sump in there. That's the old mullock, that's the old shaft we showed you in the last lot of videos. So Alec's just clearing some, he's up on top of the mullock, clearing some area away so the drill rig can do its job properly. There needs a bit of space out behind.
Okay, so what happened here is back in about 1900 when the old boys first came here, they would have seen some quartz out there and they grabbed it. They put it into a thing called a dolly pot and crushed it up, powdered it, and then they would have panned it and they would have got loose gold. So they started work, and then they built this fire here. They would have had one guy who stood there pumping up and down on a bellows, and they smelted their gold here, and you can tell that because lying on the ground all around here is what's known as slag. And that's the remains of what was in their crucibles. They would have used a little bit of borax as a flux, and we'll crush some of this up and have a look. It should have fine gold in it.
So we're just feeding into the mini crusher. We got a little gold, mini gold pan underneath there, sample gold pan. Like getting the last bit to go through. That sounds pretty good.
Okay, what we're doing here, Mark, is put some of that material into a pan, and what he's going to do now is he's just going to float off.
Make a mess, it looks like.
Oh, I make a mess, yeah, but he's going to float off all the hopefully the light stuff, which is not gold. Gold's got a specific gravity of 19 point something, which is about nearly 2 times as heavy as lead. So it tends to hang right to the bottom of the pan, and that's what we're hoping for. So what he's doing now is he's just mudding it all up so that the stuff all moves around, and hopefully the gold will be on the edge closest to us in the bottom of the pan. That's if there's any there, and we'll know fairly shortly.
And I'm doing it fairly quick.
Oh yeah, this is.
My dad taught me how to pan for coal when I was 4 years old. We come from a a mining family. So
This is not what you'd do if you're doing it for assay type purposes, but no one does assaying with panning anymore, so it doesn't matter. This is just to have a look and see whether there's anything there.
and if we got some gold in this one, I'd certainly repan what I've just got rid of there. Sort of.
So all the waste material's already in the green pan, so if it's all there we can do a bit more with it. Now he's reduced it down, so most of the easy stuff that floats off's gone. We're getting very close down to the nitty gritty, so to speak, and we'll know very shortly whether there's anything in there. He'll make the pan spin and there should be a lovely tail of yellow stuff. So what he's going to do now is put some clean water in, because if there is anything there we want to be able to see it, and that dirty muddy water can hide things.
Okay.
Tell us all about it, Mark.
I'm getting up to the truth of it now. I'll get the shadow in there.
No, don't worry about that, we'll get there.
So I'm just going to, if there's any gold, it'll be at the absolute bottom of that there. So I'm just going to rattle it around like that.
And if there's anything there, it'll be in that tail right underneath his thumb, which
Looks like we've got a little
that
fine
looks
stuff.
to me like it's very fine gold.
Let's try that again.
Is that what it looked like to
Yeah,
you?
absolutely, yeah. Which we'd expect, well, we'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Well, we would have been disappointed if there wasn't any.
Let's try it again. It's very fine, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still gold there. I'll just try and do it a bit slower. Oh yeah, there's a lot. You can see lots of very fine, like tiny little fine gold. I'll just swing it around again. You can just see it all above there. We've got it right down to nothing. Alex got the dish now, and we won't be able to see it on the camera, but there's probably about 20 tiny
Right in there, that
tiny
little yellowy
little
line.
specks.
Which is what we would expect, fine gold coming out of what they ground.
Yeah, because they've got the best of it out anyway, haven't they? Yeah.
And there were no nuggets in that area, there was no alluvial, so it was all fine gold held up in the quartz.